No. This isn't how you're supposed to play the game.
You want to know something that's more annoying than Tracer's voice?
Cheers, love! The cavalry's here!
Overwatch running at 30 frames per second. A while back, I included Overwatch as a game I'd love to see come to the Switch. It's happening, but at what cost? Frame rate.
Look at that.
Ever since the Switch was released, it was pretty clear that even though this was a fairly decent system in terms of visuals, it was still lacking in some aspects. A lot of games were showing frame rate drops even in first-party titles, surprisingly. You ever been in the Korok Forest in Breath of the Wild? Frames? Are these frames? Patches have come out to fix issues with a lot of games just like any other company would, not just Nintendo. But what I want to talk about are the monkeys working at Blizzard who thought releasing Overwatch on Switch at 30 frames per second was a good idea. This is bad. Don't even get me started about the fact that it's digital only, but you couldn't even get it to run at 60 frames per second. Now hear me out. Having a frame rate of 30 isn't bad. In fact, I prefer 30 frames per second in a good variety of games. These include games like Red Dead Redemption and Spider-Man. For games that are geared towards a more cinematic experience, 30 FPS makes more sense than a game that requires precision and accuracy, like fighting games or a shooter.
You're that eager to die?
Huh?
For example, Forza Horizon 4. I've been playing this game a lot lately and there's two things I love about it. Number one, I get to create the car of my dreams. And number two, the visuals. The game looks absolutely stunning. The lighting, the colors, the dirt. This dirt looks cool. No 60 frames required. And the game still feels smooth and responsive. On the other hand, you still have a game like Battlefield. You're trying to make these micro decisions while you're aiming and thinking. A game like this needs to be precise, which is why it runs at 60 frames per second. I'm the type of person that doesn't care much to an extent about visuals. I play a game on PC, turn off all this stuff, I'm not trying to start a fire or anything. But what makes Overwatch a special case is that it's a shooter, obviously. Especially for a game like Overwatch, which is a serious, competitive, online game. Have you ever even seen competitive Overwatch esports?
Shout out DJ Envy in the building! Let's go! New York! Sing it!
There is absolutely no reason why Overwatch shouldn't be 60 frames, and if you think it can't be 60 frames because of the Switch's hardware, well, do I have news for you. Paladins, the game Overwatch ripped off, is on the Switch and runs beautifully at 60 frames per second. Look at them side by side and both games have very similar art styles, so I don't think it'd be an enormous hassle to get Overwatch to run at 60 frames per second. But who knows, maybe I'm dumb and there's a ton of stuff going on in the background for Overwatch that impacts performance and prevents the game from running at 60, but I still believe that if the people working on the port of Overwatch put in a little more time to make this run better, I think it can happen. So with that being said, I don't think I'll be picking this up unless they do manage to increase performance. And until then, I'm just gonna wait and play Paladins.
We got this, guys.